Hello there, it's Jessie here. Alright guys, how are we doing? Very, very nice to see you. Big warm welcome if you're coming back, and a big warm welcome if you're completely new. So guys, if you know about what's been going on, I am exploring love at the moment. Love in relationship, what does that mean to me? Love, unconditional love, love without expectation. What does a relationship mean to me compared to what a lover means to me? All of these things. This is the process, one of the processes I'm going through at the moment. So I will share my current updates. Right, I have been given a new opportunity to explore if I can love without expectation. And just a brief overview, if you've missed it until now. Basically, I've met a man, we're falling completely in love with each other, and he doesn't want a relationship because he's recently come out of one and he really wants to get his ducks in order. It's just not his focus right now. I totally respect his decision. I think he's making the right decision for himself. Now, of course, when I'm falling in love with somebody, there's a bit of me, especially like I'm a bit thirsty for relationship because it's not been something in my life I've experienced a lot. The traditional form of relationship, like committed, monogamous, boyfriend-girlfriend situation. Not been in my experience. I've always had lovers, and I call them lovers, meaning that, you know, we have great sex and we're there for each other to varying degrees depending on the person, but it's not commitment. We're not necessarily exclusive. That can also depend on the lover. But generally speaking, when I have a lover, it's not the person I'm like, yeah, we're going to spend the rest of our life together. But right now, this is serving us. That's what I've considered a lover. Now, I meet this guy, I've fallen in love. Now, I considered this man more than a lover because I could see potential for us. I don't know him that well, and I know, still getting to know, but I make quick assessments, you know, and it's easy for me to see. I'm quite practical when it comes to a long-term lover. It needs to be practical. If you're spending like a life with somebody, it's extremely practical in my universe. It needs to be practical. So I can quite quickly make assumptions out of what's practical and what's not. And what is fascinating, so this man, I believe we're falling in love with each other, but I can only speak for myself. I'm falling in love with him. What does that mean? What I think it means is I've just met somebody, for some reason, reawakens something in me that was lying dormant, and I feel in love again. I feel in love, but it's not this person I'm in love with. It's meeting this person has made me fall in love with myself and with life again. I think it's beautiful. And when you do that together with somebody, isn't that beautiful that you're offering that to someone to help them fall in love with themselves in a new way, in a new light? I think it's beautiful. And it's temporary. So I think in the past, I thought if I had these kinds of feelings in myself catalyzed by somebody, that we're supposed to be together. And I really don't think that anymore. Even if you end up in a long-term relationship with somebody, that love, that excitement, that like reawakening within you, it doesn't last because it becomes familiar. Oh, yes. And then it's just another person who's not now like igniting reawakening in you. They're just another person. And the danger that I've always, for me, I always thought that feeling was going to last. And somehow they are responsible for me feeling this way. Crazy that I used to think like that. Now I'm like, okay, this person ain't responsible to how I feel. This person has catalyzed a feeling in me that I'm really enjoying. But it's not their responsibility to maintain and show up in my life in a certain way so I keep feeling this. No. I am going to enjoy falling in love with this man, more with the aspect it's awoken in me, for as long as it lasts, because it's temporary. This feeling has a sell-by date on it, and that's okay. It's supposed to, in a way, like, I think, anyway, my current understanding of love. So if you have any other thoughts or your own experience, or please share down below. So this man, it's amazing, we're falling in love, I'm enjoying these feelings, but he really doesn't want a relationship for reasons I completely agree with. It is giving me the opportunity to love without doing what I normally do, which is create a fantasy projection into the future of our lives together. I'm not able to do what I normally do, you see, because I'm like, I have all of these feelings, and when they go there, it's like the door's already closed. He's closed it. So then I'm left with all of this, and it's like, what do I do with it? Well, how does it feel? It feels good. So am I going to push this away? Am I going to push this good feeling away? No. I'm going to enjoy it, because it ain't going to last. And this is kind of the position that we've got to together. Like, okay, let's just keep enjoying it. We'll see where it goes. We'll always communicate how the other one's feeling. We'll take care of each other as best as we can. And no strings attached kind of thing. It is wonderful for me to have this opportunity. So we went on a date yesterday. It was amazing. We don't want to leave each other's side. I go back to his for dinner. We get jiggy with it. We don't have sex because that is a boundary that I have, that I don't want penetration. Reason being is I've learned with penetration and like that side of things is it changes chemicals in my body, and then it influences my mind and my thought process. And I've heard there's a study on this, so I can't quote it, but you can find it if you want more information, that when a man penetrates a woman, for 28 days the body is sending out certain signals to encourage the woman to behave in a way that will keep the man close, even though it doesn't always work. So they're potentially the father of a child for 28 days. Potentially, like, you know, you can be anywhere in your cycle, but it makes sense, right? That then we have these physical reactions inside that attach us to this person. They might be the father of my child. I need to get them close. And then that is when I was imbalanced and a bit more unconscious than I am now, it would go to jealousy, it would go to attachment, to neediness, maybe my avoidant technique mechanism would kick in and I'd push them away. Like, all of these things could happen. I have learned no penetration. Don't be confusing me with them bodily, physical urges. Anyway, it's super cool, and I really like practicing constraint. There's something very sexy about that as well. So we have a great time. We get jiggy with it, but no penetration. The passion is there, as well as meeting on many other levels. Now, I'm just going for it at this point, you know. It's like, okay, this ain't going to last forever, this feeling with this man. This relationship, situationship, whatever, isn't going to last forever. Like, who knows? This could get messy. Who knows? We'll navigate it the best we can, but we never know. So I just have to enjoy the moment. I just have to enjoy the feeling. It feels fucking wonderful. He asked me, he was dropping me off at the station, and he asked me, so what would you label this if you had to label it? And I said to him, well, now you're a lover. You're a lover in my life. And he was like, oh, what does that mean? I'm like, well, it's this. It's everything we're doing. We're enjoying each other, but there's no commitment. It's not long term. And he was like, okay, I'm happy with that. We move on. We're talking about something else. And then when I'm getting the train home, I'm like, lover. I've always used this term. And I noticed his opinion, my opinion of him. Now I've categorized him into the role of lover in my life, which is not something I'm proud of, by the way, so hear me out. I was doing this somewhat unconsciously until today. I sort of demoted him to the position of lover. Okay, well, you're not going to give me everything that I want, but like, you know, I've just come out of a lover relationship, and what was so distasteful about it for me is that I was in some way using him. And I think this is where, when I demote, even the language I'm using, listen, demote somebody to the role of lover, I'm like categorizing people in my life to feel safe. Okay, I don't even judge myself for it. But it's not, now I'm aware, something I would like to do. I've gone from meeting this being, this multi-dimensional being with full curiosity of get to know all of these things, and I've gone, okay, lover. And I realized putting it there is a way I feel safe. I'm not going to get hurt if I'm with a lover. I understand, like, the way it goes. That is a mechanism to keep safe, categorizing him here. But it also takes away, like, the complexity of this being in terms of how I'm going to approach him. You know, before it was like, anything's possible. Who are you? I want to know everything about you. To, okay, you're my lover now. And it's, the curiosity is still there. But I noticed when I did that and something in me shifted, that I feel it's disrespectful. I feel it's disrespectful. And I'm deciding I don't want to categorize people like that. Like, they're this person, they're this in my life. I think it's a little bit selfish. And I don't think it's very considerate of the other being's complexity. It's okay for me to live my life like this if it's safe. I don't judge it. But it's got me questioning whether I want to, and whether that's limiting my experience and my connection with that person by doing this. So it's all very interesting. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah. And loving without expectation, because this is giving me the opportunity to love without expectation. And when the expectations arise, I have an opportunity to examine them and evaluate them, maybe modify them if I want to. I don't think love needs to be without expectation. I think it's a very valid thing to have. In the world we're in right now, the level of consciousness that we're at as a humanity, I think it's extremely important to know what your expectations are. I think there's an element where that's still somewhat necessary. Still deciding this. But anyway, what I'm doing is not, I'm not throwing it out like love should be without expectation. Not necessarily. But it's nice to see what that would be like by examining my expectations as they come up and then navigating from there. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And I started talking about that for a reason, but I've forgotten. Yeah, I think just that it's, what do you think? Do you love your partner without expectation? Do they love you without expectation? Or do you have expectations for each other? Do you communicate them? Are they agreed upon? I guess the thing would need to be, wouldn't it? Like, both people have to be okay with the other's expectations, so they must be communicated. I'm just super curious your experience of this topic, what I've talked about, because I only have my lens to see, and I try to keep my lens as wide as possible. So please share your thoughts if you have any and you'd like to. So guys, I'm going to leave it there today. It's so good to be back. Like the video if you liked it. Please share it to someone you think might benefit from it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're completely new and you like this for some reason, hit subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Guys, have a beautiful day and a beautiful life. We've got this.